Hello dear students, here we are starting with lesson number 9, that is Microsoft Word 2010 part 2. In the previous chapter, that is lesson number 8, we have discussed some of the features of MS Word, and now in this chapter we are going to discuss more features regarding formatting Word documents. So let's start with the chapter. So what is formatting? Formatting in we can say is a you can say to keep our documents in a presentable manner and a beautiful manner. We need some kind of formatting, or to beautifully design some documents in order to highlight certain words. We can change case, we can adjust the line spacing. These all things comes under the category of formatting. The first formatting is character formatting. As the name suggests, character formatting focuses on the appearance of an individual character. Font is a set of characters of specific size and style. Character formatting can be applied in several ways: using keyboard, using home tab, using shortcut menu. Alright, font effects. We can select different font effects available under the home tab just by clicking it once. Let us learn some options. Font color, font case. Font color, the option changes the color of the selected text, whereas font case contains 5 types of cases. It includes sentence case, lowercase, uppercase, capitalize each word, and toggle case. Where sentence case capitalizes the first letter of the selected sentence, lowercase converts the selected text to lowercase, uppercase converts the selected text to uppercase. Capitalize each word changes the first character of each selected word to uppercase. That means every first character of the selected word will convert it into a capital letter. Toggle case converts the case of every selected character in the reverse manner. For example, if the first letter is capital, then it will convert into small, and others will be in capitals. Now applying subscript and superscript. Subscript, children, I told you earlier also, for example, if you are writing any chemical formula, suppose the chemical formula of carbon dioxide may be CO2. So here CO2 will be at the bottom of 2. So it will be, we can say it is a subscript. That means here they have shown also A2 plus AB plus B square. Here A2 will be a subscript and square B square will be a superscript. So we can also apply these superscript and subscript effect in our Microsoft Word document. You can go through the steps. Now bold, italicize and underline text. The section where specifies how to format text by making it bold, italic and underline. As I know that you people are quite much familiar with these formatting, you can easily bold and italic and also underline your text easily. So there are certain shortcuts also to make the text bold. Press the Ctrl plus B. First of all, you have to select the text, then you have to press the combination of shortcut keys. To make the text italic, press Ctrl plus I, and to underline the text, select and press Ctrl plus U. Formatting the fonts using shortcut key and dialog box. Open the document and select a section of the text. Right click the mouse with a shortcut bar. Click on the font option and choose a particular font. Choose the font style and click on OK. Now the next topic is Format Painter. Format Painter tool is used to copy the formatting effects of a piece of text to another section. Select the formatted text you want to copy. Click on the Format Painter button in the clipboard group on the Home tab. The pointer changes into a brush shape. Now drag the brush on the desired text to apply the copied form. You will observe that the formatting attributes of the previous text will be applied to the selected text. The next one is paragraph formatting. So these type of formatting are applied only on the paragraph. For example, we can adjust the distance of the paragraph from the margin, and from where the paragraph will start and till where the paragraph will stop. All these features will be come under the category of paragraph formatting. The first is margins. Definition: the distance between the written text and the edge of the paper is called margin. As I hope you must be familiar with this margin word, because you people draw in your copies also. Whatever you type or paste in a document is adjusted within the margins of that page. The ruler bars also display the position of the margins. Therefore, margins are important elements of document, as this has the boundaries of a page. The next topic is text alignment. Text alignment refers to the positioning of the text between the margins of a page. Text alignment will be horizontal or vertical. Horizontal text alignment. There are 4 types of horizontal text alignment present in the paragraph group of the Home tab. They include align text left, align text right, center, and justify. Vertical text alignment. It aligns the text with respect to the top and bottom margins of a page. To align the text vertically, follow the given steps. Click on the Page Layout tab. From the Page Setup group, click on the Page Setup dialog box launcher. Click on the Layout tab. In the Vertical Alignment list box, click on the desired option. In the Apply to box, select either whole document or selected text option as per your requirement and click on OK. Indents and tabs. The distance between the text boundaries and the page margins is called indent. Using tab key. The most common way to indent text is to use the tab key. This method is good for indenting a single line of text rather than multiple lines or a paragraph. Place the insertion point at the beginning of the line that you want to indent. Press the tab key. This indents the line ½ inch away from the left margin towards right by default. Children, those topics I am not discussing. We will not going to cover those topics because there is so much of lengthy chapter and certain topics that are of no use. So I will put a cross on those topics that we are not going to cover. Alright, so you people have not to prepare those topics. That on that I am going to put a cross mark. Alright, children. Our next topic is leader lines. You can insert leader lines before the tab which are dotted, dashed or solid lines that fill the space between the last letter and the tab stop. A leader line improves the readability of a document. To insert a leader lines, open the tabs dialog box. By default, one non-radio button is selected in the leader section. You can select the desired leader option, click on the set button and click on OK. Line spacing. Line spacing refers to the vertical distance between consecutive lines of text. To format line spacing, select the text you wish to format. Click the line spacing button in the paragraph group on the Home tab. Select the spacing option from the display list. There are certain line spacing options given under the table. You can just go through these options. They include single, half, 1.5 lines, point lines, double, at least, exactly, and multiple. Now checking spellings and grammar. Correction method 1. Sometimes we might have observed red, light, green and blue wavy lines under a few words in our document. This is done by Microsoft Office program to help you spot the grammar and spellings error easily. Word has an inbuilt dictionary and a set of grammatical rules to check the spellings and grammar of any text document. A red wavy line under any word signifies the incorrectly spelled word. To correct the spelling grammar, right click on the incorrectly spelled word and a list of suggested corrections will appear. Select the option which meets your requirement. You will observe that the incorrect spelling is replaced by the selected option. Now let's discuss correction method 2, spelling and grammar tool. To check the spelling and grammatical error in a document by using the spelling and grammar tool, follow the given steps. Open a Word document that needs to be checked. Click on the Review tab, select the spelling and grammar option in the Proofing group. The spelling and grammar dialog box appears and the first suggested correction is highlighted. Select the suggested correction and click on the Change button. Using Thesaurus. A thesaurus is a built-in dictionary that enables you to look up synonyms, antonyms, word substitutes, and alternative spellings. This feature increases your writing abilities and vocabulary and helps you to better understand the text. When you look up a word in a thesaurus, it will provide you a list of alternative words which you can use in place of an existing word. Inserting symbols. At times, you must have seen some special characters in a document which are not available on a standard keyboard. In computer terminology, such special characters are called symbols. A particular mark that represents some piece of information is called a symbol. As you can see in the diagram given just adjacent to the topic, there are certain symbols they have shown that are not present on the keyboard. So by using these symbol option, we can insert the particular symbols in our Word document. Now it's time to discuss page formatting. In the previous sections, we have studied the concepts of character formatting and paragraph formatting. Now it's time that we will discuss page formatting. The page formatting includes page size, page orientations, and margin. Page size, let us select the page layout tab. We can change the size of the page, as we can change the size as letter, or we can set the size of the paper as legal or A4 or B2, any size you can choose up to your requirement. Page orientation includes landscape and portrait. That means we can rotate your page into two orientations, that one will be landscape and another one is orientation. Margins, in the previous sections we have studied about margins. Previous page margins are the blank spaces around the edges of a page. You can set the page margins in two ways: using the ruler bar, using the page setup dialog box. As I told you children just now that I have put a cross on some of the topics. Those topics, children, you do not have to prepare for the test or the exams. Only the topics on which I have not put any cross you have to prepare. Alright children, so don't get confused. Now header and footer. Many of you have inserted header and footer in the Word document. Header means the headings, or the top of the document includes header, and the bottom of the document will be a footer. So you must have noticed that usually the title of the chapter is present at the top of the page and the page number appears at the bottom. In literary terms, they are called header and footer, since they appear at the top and bottom of the page respectively. Adding borders to a paragraph or text. Different types of border can easily be applied to paragraphs in Word. The borders can be added to any or all sides of a paragraph. A drop-down shadow effect can also be created, providing almost a three-dimensional appearance. The following steps must be followed in order to add borders to a paragraph. Position the cursor in the paragraph where the border has to be added. Click on the Home tab. Click on the drop-down arrow of Borders tool in the paragraph group. Word displays a variety of options you can choose from. Choose the Borders and Shading option. Select the Borders tab and select the required border style from the setting area like Box, Shadow, 3D or Custom. Line style can be selected from the style list. To adjust the distance of the border of the box from the paragraph text, click the options button and set the form text options. Change the form text distances and click on OK. Click on OK to close the borders and shading dialog box. After the border attributes are set, Word will continue to use the same attributes until they are changed again. Applying or change shading on a word or a paragraph. Select the word or paragraph where the shading has to be applied. On the Home tab in the paragraph group, the arrow next to the shading has to be clicked. Under Theme Colors, click on the color that is used to shade your selection. Now applying page border to a page. You can also apply page border to a particular page. For this you have to follow the given steps. Just go through these steps. Applying shading on a page. Apart from page border, you can also apply shading to a particular page. To follow shading and to apply shading on a page, you have to follow these 5 steps. That includes select the text of a page on which the shading has to be applied. In the border and shading dialog box, click on the shading tab. Here you will find the fill in pattern selection for the shading. Select any fill color or pattern that you want to apply and click on OK. The next topic is previewing a document. A printed output of a document or an image is called a hard copy. From time to time, we need hard copies of your work just like any other word processor. MS Word provides us with options to print a document, analyze its preview, and control the printing properties. Microsoft Word allows you to preview the document before printing. So, by following the given steps, you can preview a document. Printing a document. After checking the preview of the document, you can follow the given steps to print the document. Click on the File tab, select the Print option. Choose the printer from the Printer drop-down list. Enter the number of copies in the Copies spin box. Under the Settings section, click on the arrow next to the Print All Pages to choose any given option. Select the Printing All Pages option. Prints the entire document. Selecting the Print section option prints only the selected text from the document. Selecting the print current page prints only the selected page from your document. Choosing the print custom range options print the specified range of pages from the document. After selecting all the required options, click on the print button. So children, this is all about this lesson number 8, and remember that you do not have to prepare the topic on which I have put a cross mark. I am giving you with the